Today I'm going to be talking about how to find articles in our main database, Academic Search Complete. I'm going to give you some helpful search tips and also show you how to access the database. So from Relay College's homepage, you're going to first want to click on Library. There's a Library tab here at the very top of the page. Click on that. And then here's where you're going to find all of our databases and our library catalog. So the first thing you're going to want to do is, if you're looking for Academic Search Complete, which is the main database that I would recommend for doing this assignment, you're going to want to click here on Research Databases. So it's going to take you to a list of all the different databases that we have here at the library. We subscribe to over 65, so we have lots of different ones to choose depending on what class you're taking, what assignment you have, what topics you're searching. But in general, I would recommend searching Academic Search Complete just because it's a really good database that covers a lot of different topics. So pretty much any class you take from here on out, even if you're here or if you're at another university or college, you can use Academic Search Complete. They'll have some version of this because this is where you're going to find like the majority of research articles on different topics. So let's click on that. And then the next thing you're going to want to do is click on this Choose Database thing. So I know it's a little confusing, but Academic Search Complete is actually just one of like many little databases that are under this EBSCOhost. So EBSCOhost owns Academic Search Complete, and then they own a bunch of other databases. So the cool thing is on this page you can just search them all at one time. So you don't have to search them individually, so it'll save you a bunch of time. So make sure Academic Search Complete is selected, and then scroll through, and you're going to look for databases that are going to cover your topic. So for this topic, we're searching different like periods of history, right? So we're going to look for databases that cover history topics. So I'm just going to kind of look through this list here and look for anything that has to do with history. So we're going to scroll down here. You could look for the military government collection, the newspaper collection might be good. I'm also going to select this one called Master File, which doesn't automatically just scream like, oh, this is a history database, but this is another really good database that covers a lot of different topics, and it usually has a lot of good articles. So I just, because of the job I do, I know that this one is a good database to select. But if you're kind of looking through here and you don't know what a database might cover, you can just click on this little arrow here, and it's going to give you like a little informational blurb about what the database is about. So let's keep going. Let's click on Newswires just to get more newspaper articles. Maybe some primary search, because I know we could be looking for primary source documents. So we could look in this one to find some of those. The History Reference Center is another good one. And then Points of View Reference Center is another really good database if you're taking like a history class, political science class. This one's really good. And then I'm going to click on our databases. I'm going to click on our ebook collections, because we have a really, really good ebook collection here. And what this means is it's going to pull up ebooks that you have access to, that you can access at home. So you don't have to come into the library to like check out these books. You can just click on here, and when you do your search, it's going to give you a bunch of books that you could just read like on your phone or your computer. So it's a lot more convenient. So I would always recommend clicking on these two. Okay, let's hit OK. And then I'm going to come in here. I always do this. I go to Advanced Search just because it gives me more options, and I like being able to kind of narrow down my results before I get into it. So I would always recommend clicking on Full Text. So this is going to weed out everything that's just like not an article. It's going to weed out stuff that's maybe like a book review or like an abstract, or like maybe it's just like a recording or something. It's going to weed out all that stuff, because all we're looking for right now is articles, right? So I'm going to click on that. You may have an instructor that asks you to look for like peer-reviewed or scholarly articles, and those are usually for more if you're looking for information like on a science topic or something like that. These are often the kind of papers you'd be looking for. It just means like the articles have been reviewed by a team of experts. If your teacher or your instructor doesn't mention those words, peer-reviewed or scholarly, don't even worry about clicking on this box. Just leave it empty. Okay, let's go up to the top here and let's enter some keywords. So the topic I selected for this was the Progressive Era. So I'm just going to come in here, and I'm going to put quotation marks around progressive era. The reason I'm doing that is because when the database is searching for those keywords, it's going to keep those two words together. So it's going to look through all the text, and it's going to look for progressive era together. So hopefully your results are going to be more relevant. You're going to be able to get results that are what you're looking for. So I'm going to just keep it really simple, progressive era, and hit search. So I got almost 4,000 results, which is a whole lot of results. I got a lot of really good ebooks, so that's something I wanted to point out for almost all the topics for this assignment. As long as you make sure you click those ebook databases that I showed you in the beginning, you're going to pull up a bunch of stuff that probably will have a lot of really good information for you. So let's say you wanted to get this ebook, you could just click right here, and then you can get the actual text. So it's going to give you the whole book. It's all copied right here. You can kind of just click through. The cool thing is you don't have to read the whole book, right? You could just come right here, and you could select Control F on your keyboard. So all I did was hit Control and then the letter F, and then it's going to pop up this little box, and I could just click on, I don't know, progressive. Yeah, so it's going to show me all the different times in this part, this introduction, where progressive era is mentioned, right? So I can kind of just click through all the different times that it's mentioned, and that way I don't have to read the whole book. I'm just looking, if I just know, I'm researching a certain topic, maybe I want to know more about the progressive era, policies in California or something. I could kind of just type that in here, and then I can scroll through and just find when it mentions that particular topic, and then I don't have to read the whole book. I just need that one section, right, that I can use to quote or cite in my paper. Another cool thing is when you're here, you can come up here to the top, so you can print out pages of the book. You could email some of them to yourself or just save it to your computer or your tablet. But you can also come up here to Cite, and then scroll down, and then whatever type of citation format that your instructor is asking you to use when you're doing your paper. It could be MLA, it could be APA, it could be Chicago. Just say for the sake of argument you're using APA, you would just copy this right here. You would copy and paste it into your references page, which goes at the very end of your paper. So then the work's already done for you. This is just like a citation generator, but the one that they have for this one is actually pretty good. So I would recommend using this one above using the ones that you might find online. So again, you just copy paste this into your references page, and then you have that part of it already done. So that's pretty cool. Okay, let's go back to our search. I want to show you an article, so let's click down through here. There's a ton of ebooks, like I said. And let's just pick an article. Let's say we want to read this one right here. So we look at the title, okay, this might be interesting for my topic. Let's click on it. And then once you're here, you can be like, okay, that's cool, but how do I get the article itself? So you're going to want to come over here to PDF full text. So it has to either say this, or it'll say HTML full text. And that's the only way you're going to be able to get access to the article. So make sure to click on that. And then, so here's the article, right? So once you're at this point, you can save a copy of it to your Google Drive or to OneDrive. You could just print it out, which is something I would recommend. If you're doing your research, you found an article that's really good, I would recommend printing it out just so you have that hard copy when you go to actually write your paper, so you're not trying to find it later. You could also email a copy to yourself, which is kind of cool. Just put in whatever email, your school email or your personal email. But then when you're doing that, you can also come over here and you can select again the citation format that your instructor wants you to use. So again, if you're doing APA or you're doing MLA, just select whichever one you're using, and when it sends you the article, it's going to send you the citation too. So again, you would just copy paste that into your your references page. And then also, if you don't want to do any of those things, but you want the citation information, just come over here to this little paper icon, click on that, and that's going to also give you the citation information as well. So again, you would copy this, paste it into your references page, which goes at the very end of your paper. So there's a lot of different articles that you can choose from. Depending on your topic, you may want to get more specific. So this is just going to give you a bunch of stuff that just talks about the progressive era, but not necessarily any particular topic. It could be any topic, right? So maybe you don't want to look through 4,000 articles. So if you have if you know what you want to talk about, you could add another keyword down here. So right now I just have progressive era, but we could search progressive era and women. And then when you start typing in, it's going to give you other ways of saying women, because what we're trying to do is we don't know how the database categorizes like articles. Like we wouldn't just go into this knowing that, right? So we kind of have to play this game where we're trying to figure it out. So I like to enter in different keywords, and it's going to give us all this different, like all these different possible ways that we could get articles that we want, right? So again, I'm keeping this really simple. What we're doing is we're combining these two terms together. So we're combining progressive era and we're combining women, or progressive era and female, or whatever, right? So this and here is connecting these terms together. So it's telling the database, look for these terms together in one article, right? So we're not just going to pull up an article that talks just about the progressive era or just about women, right? We're going to combine those terms together, so it's hopefully going to find us an article that talks about both. If you wanted the opposite, maybe you are trying to just, like, you have a topic and you're not finding a lot of articles on it, you could do the opposite and you could use or. So what or does is it's going to look for progressive era, or we could just try another way of saying it, right? Progressive era without the quotation marks around it. So it's like two different ways of saying it, but we're good with finding either one. We're good with finding articles on either topic. So we could click search and then we would just get a bunch of stuff. Now we have even more results, and it's going to use it either way. Okay, so that's how we search for articles in Academic Search Complete. That's just like a quick overview. Once we're here, I just wanted to quickly point out, I'm going back to the database list that I was at in the very beginning. So here's where we went to our Academic Search Complete, right? Another really good database you could use for this assignment is called JSTOR. So I clicked on J, it's going to take me to JSTOR. Click on the link, and then it's going to be the same process. So I can come in here, I can look for articles or books, but I can also look for images. So JSTOR is really cool because it has a lot of good images for different topics. It also has a lot of good primary source documents. So if your instructor's like, I want you to find like letters written by people who were living during like World War I, you might want to try JSTOR and see what you can find here. And again, I would go to advanced search, I would enter in your keywords, and then you can come down here if you want. You can just look for articles or books or whatever, and then hit search, and that's it. Yeah, submit your advanced search, and then it's going to be the same process. I just want to make sure you know that there's other databases that are good for this topic as well. So I would recommend those probably the most for this assignment. And that is how to search for articles in Academic Search Complete. And in my next video, I will show you how to search our library catalog, which is called OneSearch, to find books on topics for this class.